Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do a review on 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And to all my faithful nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you so much for being here. We are going to go ahead on and get into this crazy mixed up review of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Okay, look, we start off this episode right where we left off at. Yes, we see our crazy boy Paul. Paul is still somewhere over yonder, lost in the woods. Okay, the producers are looking for him, the camera guys are looking for him, because basically he done got Karine set up and she done got mugged, okay, by machete. So the telephone and everything that she had that she was communicating with him on, that sucker is gone. Okay, all right, so it's gone. He's back. The producers are like, are you okay? He's like, I'm all right. So, they get him together and they tell him basically, you done got Karine robbed by machete. Okay, Karine done got robbed. She's done with you. She's back at the hotel room and she don't want nothing to do with you, basically. She is packing up her stuff even as we speak, and she is going to stay with a friend. Paul is devastated. He has the nerve, the unmitigated gall, to sit up there and say, I should not have walked away from her. No, Paul, you did not walk away. You ran away. Basically, you punked out. You told her what happened with you and, your criminal past. And then, you act like you was some type of CSI running victim. And then, you got ghost on her. Paul, get yourself together. Get it together. So he's standing up there. He's devastated. And, and everybody is basically done with Paul. I am too. How in the... I gotta move back some, because I don't know why this light is making me look yellow like this. How in the world is Paul going to get ghosts like that, run through the forest, okay, like Forrest Gump, okay, running for days, have no purpose for running. He just running because he feel like running. Paul, get yourself together. So now, Karine, we see Karine. She's back at the hotel. She got her luggage and everything. Okay, her little handy-dandy blue suitcase. And she got her little Hawaiian hat on. Okay, girlfriend got a straw hat. A whole brand new outfit on. And she's like, I'm done. I am done with Paul. I don't want to see him anymore. How could he break up like this? He's going to sit up there and say that he doesn't want to be with me, so I don't want to be with him. We see her call her mom. Mom, I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm out. Deuces. Bye. I see him later. Peace. She is devastated. She's crying so hard that she's not using a tissue. Girlfriend's using a bath towel. Yes, she is. She has a pink bath towel. She is wiping all the tears from her eyes. Yeah. That Paul has caused. Yeah. And we see her walk off, dragging her suitcase behind her. She is devastated, got her washcloth. She's using every inch and every thread of it, every fiber, every piece of terry cloth that the bath towel basically can hold. Karine's devastated. And she done got robbed. She's penniless. She didn't have anything. And she's out. We see Paul next talking about, I need to, I want Karine. I don't want to be without her. Well, if you didn't want to be without her, why would you run? Why would you run? If he ain't one crazy mofo. Oh, okay. So anyway, we see him the next day. The producers and the staff that told him where she's staying at. Karine is staying with a friend. Okay, they got a good old black iron door. The kind you see up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And the shot far back. So, locations. You know what I'm saying? With the little towers and everything that count the bullet. That's what Karine is. Karine is. And Paul knocks on the door. Because at the end of the day, he wants his Karine back. Boy, bye. Catch a clue. Don't nobody want you. Don't nobody want you. So the next thing we see, honey, is Larry. 401k Larry. Larry is with his girl Jenny, and they are out for a nice romantic dinner. He says, you know what, I really do believe that this girl is lying to me. But I can't, I can't put my hands on it. I can't wrap my mind around what's going on with her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? That manipulative way. Instead of saying what's really on your mind, you're going to say what your cousin said. So he's sitting at the table. She got her little Fashion Nova dress on and her little jelly red shoes. And she tells him, basically, that his cousin that he wants to talk about, saying that the cousin had checked her Facebook page and always coming back and running back to him and telling him that she's just tricking him, that she has 700 men. Girl, 700. I can barely get 2. And you talking about 700. But anyway, she tells him that the cousin is stalking her. I said, okay, Jenny, you got to come back. Jenny, let me tell you something. These mofos, they need to write a book on how to hook a man in 2 days or less. I'm trying to tell you how to get a man and get a green card all at the same time. These chicks need to be authors of their own best-selling books. Because Auntie about. Okay. So basically she tells him, your cousin is stalking me. Ain't nothing going on. Everything cool. I'm here with you. It's nobody but you. And Larry, he's like a sponge. He wants to suck it up. But what he doesn't realize is the other side of the sponge got mildew on it, because he still ain't going for the okie doke. So we see them leave the restaurant. They go back to the 401k hotel. And then, he's standing at the 401k hotel. He said, look, I still got some on my mind. Before I left Florida, I went and checked. Yeah? I went and checked your Facebook page and your Filipino Cupid, and you was online. Yeah, I checked it before I left. You know what Jenny's comeback was? Jenny's comeback was, I be going on there to check on you. Jenny! You wanna go? Jenny! Stop that stuff! Girl, I'm trying to tell you, write a manual. Girl, I loved it. Larry was like, now I'm dumb. I done pulled out on my 401k, but I ain't that stupid. First of all, you told me something different the last time. She said, oh, did I? Well, basically I was telling you, what you wanted to hear. But now, love, I'm telling you something a whole lot different. And you gonna believe that. You want to see my phone? He said, yeah, let me see your phone. She said, you might be a little bit mad because there's a whole lot of men up on here. How many men, Jenny? How many men? Could the cousin possibly be correct, Jenny? Okay, you sit up here talking about the cousin that's stalking you, but then you going to try to brace Larry for the okie dokie. So she opens up that phone and then she just scrolling. I mean, she got the cell phone, she just scrolling. She just like going through pages and pictures and pages and pictures and pictures of pages and pages of pictures of men who have visited her on Philippine Cupid. Jenny, come on, girl. You've got it going on. You are mad. Let me tell you something, Jenny. You got the game. I can't hate you. I can't hate the player or the game. You do what you got to do for that green card. She sits up there and she shows Larry that you was the first person that I talked to. And Larry grins. Oh, he's happy. You know what I'm saying? He's happy because that's what he wanted to see. He wanted to see that he was the only one. But let me tell you something. You can always go on there and delete anything that you have already previously had on there. But you so gullible and you spent your 401k plan on all of this. So you know what? It doesn't make a difference what Jenny tell you. You're going to believe it. You were once sad. Anyway, next person we see is Sean. Sean is sitting at the AirBNB all by himself. Yes, he is. And he is sad. The most beautiful love song comes on, and he is sitting there and he's devastated. He has not seen Abby since Abby saw him. He hasn't seen her. She's off somewhere with Chris because she said you basically had the wrong answer. So he picks up the phone and he calls his best friend John, and he tells John about what happened. And John said, man, look, if you got to even think about it, you know that this ain't right for you. She's not the one. And you know what? At the end of the day, Sean, she's not. She's not the one for you, sweetie pie. You need to move on. But you know what? We've already seen the pictures of you on Instagram and on Facebook. And we know that our girl Abby ended up winning the game. Again, I can't hate the players or the game, because at the end of the day, they doing what they got to do. They doing what they got to do. He says that he doesn't know whether or not he's going to propose to her. You're going to propose to her because at the end of the day, you want to win. You are no different than any other man who is in a love triangle and wants to win the game. Abby is the prize. But let me tell you something though, Sean. You say that you can't imagine your life with her. I bet you ain't imagining now. You're living with it. And I guess Abby probably didn't get rid of Chris either. She doesn't have to, because you're willing to accept her just the way that she is. The next dummy we see is Cortney. Cortney is still with Antonio. She doesn't trust Antonio. She's one of those typical jealous little girls. Cortney, come on. You know that Antonio is one of them ride 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em type of guys. Come on, boo. He is the rodeo. Trust me, he is the bull that is riding. He's riding and he's being ridden. Okay, but anyway, they sit there and they talk, and he tells her, basically he's tired of sleeping on the sofa. He wants to sleep in the bed with her. And she's like, until he acts right and get himself together, he's not getting any sex. He said he needs a massage. Really, Antonio? Really? Really? Antonio can't understand why this girl is holding out on him, because after all, he's already said that American girls are easy and he can get with it and get busy and do what he wants to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But she is holding out because she wants him to stop flirting with other women and to flirt with her. But guess what, boo? As soon as you get up on your Delta flight, your United flight, or whoever you've flown with, he's going to be with other women. It is what it is. So they're going to the restaurant to meet his friend Tony. Okay, she wants to meet his friends and his family and all that kind of stuff. Boo, you just met him. Cortney. Anyway, she wants to meet his friends and his family. And he's like, I ain't ready for you to do all of that. I ain't ready for you to do all of that at all. None of that. I don't want you to meet my friends, and I don't want you to meet my family. But I'll let you meet Tony. So they get to the restaurant. Tony's there. She wants to give Tony some. You know what I'm saying? Because Tony, after all, has a nice little sexy body, and she thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, or she would not have flown all the way over there. And Tony basically covered for his boy. She thinks she's going to get information out of Tony about who Antonio is. But Tony was like, nah, he's a good guy. He's not, pushing himself on you because you're special. And this is exactly what she wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? He's his player. You know what I'm saying? He's a player from the Himalayas. And his boy is his walk boy. He's his butt boy. He's the guy that's going to hold it down for him. You understand what I'm saying? He's the one that's going to make sure that, Antonio is able to get the women the way he wants to get them. He even went on to say that Antonio got sex written on his forehead. I guess he does. But he's going to make sure that Antonio gets some booty from her. He's going to say all the right things. And then when he's sitting up there saying that he's a nice guy, you know what Antonio slipped up and said? That's right, Samuel. Okay, so I thought his name was Tony. So who is Samuel? Okay, I caught that. Cortney didn't catch it, but I absolutely caught it. Now we see Patrick. Patrick is sitting down with Miriam. they're going through and they're walking and they're talking and they're enjoying the city. We see him come out, by himself, and he's running through there like, he's, Rocky Balboa, and you know what I'm saying? Dun 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 dun. He's he's running past, all the monuments and everything. He's got his tats on him, he's got his muscles all flexed up, he's on the back, and he's doing stuff like that. Boy, bye, sit down. You got a nice body, Patrick. I'm just saying, you got a nice body, but the rest of that, all of that stuff like that, all that right there, that stuff right there, it don't go with the package. But anyway, I digress, because you know what? For somebody else, he's really a cute guy. He's running through there and he's talking about how he feels about Miriam having a boyfriend, and how the boyfriend couldn't be all this and he couldn't be all that because he's allowing her to be with him. Well, you're the one that decided, you and your mama, you decided that you would stay there and allow her to be a tour guide. But we all know, Patrick, you got an agenda, and your agenda is to get Miriam at any cost. Again, you're like Sean and Chris. What you want to do basically is you want to win. Okay, if you win, then what? If you get her, then what? Because if she would leave him based on the conversation she's having with you, she will leave you based on the conversation that she's having with another man. I'm just saying. But anyway, we see her come. She's walking around with him. She's his little tour guide. And they get to talking and everything about, how, the boyfriend is not really there. And, most men in between the ages of 20 to 26 are not serious. And then after 26 and 27, they want to be in a serious relationship. So Patrick asks her, well, how old is your boyfriend? And she's like, he's 23. He doesn't text me back when I text him. I feel like I'm putting more into this relationship than him. But first of all, Miriam, she started off the conversation by saying that Patrick was in the friend zone. Okay, is Patrick in the friend zone or is he not? Are you the tour guide or are you not? See, the thing about it is, she asked Patrick, tell me about American women. He said that American women assume and they don't know how to communicate. Let me tell you something, Patrick. You've assumed and you don't know how to communicate. You have assumed that this girl was going to be honorable to you. You assumed that she was all yours. You made a whole lot of assumptions. You assumptioned yourself all the way into $1,000 plus flight over there to visit her. You assumptioned your way into staying in a hotel in a whole different country. You assumed your way into all the way sitting at a table with her, believing that you were going to have this romantic relationship because you said that you didn't know that this was going to happen. So guess what? Who's making the assumption now, Patrick? You are. You assumed. You didn't communicate. Because the first thing you should have asked her when you were talking to her is, instead of assuming that your face, your looks, and all that kind of stuff was going to get her, your little Chris Brown want-to-be, you should have asked. You should have made it very clear and very plain about what your status was before you went over there, tourist, needing a tourist guide. But anyway, I digress because I feel myself getting mad. So Patrick sits there and he wants to talk about the boyfriend, about how the boyfriend should be there and how the boyfriend is allowing her to do this. And then she sits there, falls into the plan, falls into the trap, and starts talking negatively about her boyfriend. Miriam, you out of order. You don't ever talk to one man about another man, especially when this man wants to be your man, but you got this man in the friend zone. That's not what you do. Because he's going to say all the things that you want him to say. Okay? And that's exactly what Patrick did. Even to the point where she started crying. This was one crying episode right here. You understand what I'm saying? So she gets it in. She gets to crying and acting a straight plum fool about this man. Girl, bye. Sit down. Bye, girl. Bye. So anyway, she says, you know what? It's only so many times in a lifetime that I'm going to meet a man like Patrick. Patrick has told me all the things that I want to hear. And I don't know if I made a wrong mistake, if I made a mistake about staying with my boyfriend. Let me say this. No, I ain't going to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it. You's a dummy. Patrick don't have anything to offer you. Nothing. Because you know what? He doesn't have the self-esteem that God gave him. Anytime that he's going to sit up there and tear down American women, and his mama one, he don't have nothing to give you. Nothing. Because one thing you don't have to do is tear down another race of people, another culture of people, a whole community, country of people, in order to try to manipulate and get what you want from one woman. It is not to your advantage, Patrick, to tear these women down. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if Miriam comes over here and she ends up being your boo, she'll find out that women in this country are not what you have labeled us to be. We are not women and people who assume things. We are excellent communicators. Now, there are some of us who may fall into that category. But guess what, boo? You got to come to the table with something. And as far as I'm concerned, you ain't coming to the table with anything but a tatted up body. Next. Who are we going to next? Let's see. Auntie got to put her glasses on. So we see Larry leaving the 401k hotel going over to Jenny's parents' house. He just as goofy as he can be. He's riding in the car and Jenny is saying, you know what, I need him to marry me because I need to get to the U.S. I think life is going to be better in the United States. One thing about Jenny, she ain't cutting no cards. She ain't being fake. She putting it out there, mofo. I want a green card. I want you to marry me. I want to come to the United States. And I want to live a better life. Jenny has not pretended about anything that she wants. The only thing that she's pretending about is that she's wholesome and whole. Because let me tell you, boo, if you got 700 men on your Facebook page and you got 700 men on your Filipino Cupid app that you got on your phone, ain't nothing pure about you. So he comes out to the family. He's sitting up there looking goofy as he can be. Lord Jesus, help me, God. Help me with him. He comes out there. He's got his little stuff together. And, you know, she shows him around the house. This is where Papa sleep. All I saw was a floor. A floor with some curtains on it. I said, God dang, what in foolishness. Then she said, this where I sleep, this where my sister sleep, this where the baby sleep. What? They are really living in poverty. Because all I saw was a floor. She said, won't have a one bed. And Papa sleep up in that. Well, good. She says that her mother's a domestic worker working in another country. And she ain't seen her in 3 years. I can't even imagine that kind of life. And Larry walking around. He comes outside, he meets the dad, the oldest sister who's, you know, AKA the interpreter, and the baby sister. They just a giggling. But the father ain't. The father checking him out from bald head to bald feet. Okay? The father is looking at him. He comes out there, you know, with the dad, and he says, you know, I like them little goats. I like them goats. You know what I'm saying? I like the little, you know, the scenery. We look out there and we see a goat. Got a, you know, a little... a rope around his neck, you know what I'm saying, looking like the neighborhood ghetto dog. I said, what kind of pit bulls are these? what is that? So, you know, Larry really don't know what to say. He goofy and everything. But, you know, Jenny, you know, and Jenny, she don't have no facial expressions. She keep her face like this. Jenny got mad gang. Do you hear what I'm saying? So Jenny, she's sitting there with her face straight and everything. You know what I'm saying, with the okie dokie. He says, you know, if I marry her, you know, what's up with this? If I marry her, if I put a ring on her finger, no, it's right there. If I put a ring on her finger, can I marry the father? Say, nope. I ain't like Karine, father. You gonna get to know her, and you gonna get to know me before you gonna ask me anything. Because I'm a little concerned about you. You look like you're old as dust. I don't know how many years you're going to even last. I don't know if you're going to even last past the green card application process. So I tell you what, I need to get to know you before you even think about being with my daughter. So Jenny was like, you know what? I'm up and I'm out. Jenny had her little red Fashion Nova outfit on. I said, you better go here, girl. You better go here. When she went up in that house, they had them little plastic buckets with clothes in it, you know what I'm saying? Because she got to make sure that she keep her fashion together for the American men so that when she comes on there, she look halfway decent. But that girl living on the floor. God damn, that girl is living on the floor. Do you hear what I'm saying? That girl is living on the floor. So the next thing we see, what we see next, y'all? Hold on now, y'all. So again, we see Patrick. He's trying to get out the friend zone. He really wants to be with Miriam with everything he got in him. Next. All right, so So after that, Larry is back at the house. He back at the ranch. They done made a special little dinner for him. They done made a Lechon. I said, okay, what is that? Lechon is a pig. It's sitting up there, it's burgundy. It's covered up in some fig leaves. They ready to get down. The auntie there, the uncle there, cousins, like everybody there. They done brought all the cattle, all the chicken, everything. They about to have a feast. Because Larry has proposed, and they like, we going to slaughter the best pig for Larry. Larry gets grossed out. Soon as they open it up, Larry did to the bed, okay? Larry said, I ain't eating that. I ain't eating that. And I'm sitting up there thinking to myself, Larry, you better eat that. You better eat that Lechon, boy. Eat that Lechon, boy. Ain't nothing wrong with that Lechon. That Lechon ain't gonna kill you, boy. Get a couple of forks, boy. You better swallow that Lechon, boy. You better chew that Lechon, boy. Because I'm telling you, if you want to walk up out of here with your life, you better eat that Lechon, boy. So Larry is like, I ain't eating it. So, you know, basically, you know, Jenny tells us that, you know, this is something that they've saved up for years. She hasn't had Lechon since she was a little child. This is something that's extremely, you know, valuable to them. They've done all of this, and they've spent all this money because they want to welcome Larry. And Larry doesn't have the common sense that he was birthed with. He sits up there and eats a little bit of it and look like he was about to upchuck. Larry, you got to eat the Lechon, baby. Go ahead, eat the pig. They done slaughtered the best calf for you. Come on now. They got the best wine. Look like they had some little ramen noodles on the plate. All you had to do was swiggle it around and then, you know, swig it around, you know, you like... Take a little, you know, a hard swallow. Tell them that you need a whole lot of drink because you dehydrated and just drown it down with some water. That's all you had to do. But instead, he doesn't eat. He's so goofy. He's about the dumbest. The sister and the father was like, he is offensive. This is offensive and it's embarrassing. I can't believe he's acting like this. At the end of the day, when you go to another country, that is all that they have to show that they love and they care about you and that they appreciate you, is the food from their culture. And the least that Larry could have did was read a book. He could have read a baby book out of a magazine to realize that when you go to another country, that's how they are. When you come to the United States and we take you to a restaurant, we're going to take you to the finest restaurant that we have to show you our culture and to show you how we live. But this mofo, he can't even figure that out. He sits up at the daggone thing and he doesn't eat anything. The sister and the father, the sister comes over to Jenny and she was like, look, you better check your man. You better check your United States man because he is disrespectful and this is embarrassing. Everybody is out here eating. We eating Lechon. We haven't had Lechon since you was a baby. Knee-high to a baby. And he gonna sit up here and not eat? And then she was like, you know, you better check him because at the end of the day, he wants daddy's hand. He wants daddy's approval for your hand or your finger in marriage. She tries to talk to Larry about it. Larry's like, why you got this smile? Why your face frowning? She was like, you need to eat. But why your face said, I don't want to eat anything. Everybody else is eating. That's the point, dummy. So anyway, they walk off and everything, and she's really mad. She tries to talk to him. She told him, basically, you rude. He was like, what do you mean rude? She said, you rude. He said, did you say, oh? No, I said rude. Larry can't even understand what Jenny is saying. He is so backwards. He just like straight backwards. I feel so sorry for him. Other than Paul and Sean, he's third on the list to being one of the most ignorant people that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. She sits there and she tells him how embarrassed she is that he would not eat the food. And you know what Larry does? He blows it off because he doesn't have any understanding about culture. He has no understanding about class and about being cool. He's so stupid. She ends up crying and bawling her eyes out. She's done with Larry at this point. Look, boo, if you got 700 other men that are on your Filipino Cupid app, then that's what you need to do. You need to go for them. You don't need to go for him. Anyway, to wrap things up, we see Paul. Paul finally gets somebody to open up the door, and it's Karine. Karine in a nice little cute little outfit. You understand what I'm saying? Looking really Fashion Nova-ish too. Fashion Nova be getting around, I'm trying to tell you. They be doing the daggone thing. But you know, she comes out there and she's like, look, you said what you had to say. What are you doing here? And Paul's like, you know what? I don't want to lose you. I'm sorry about what I did. She was like, why are you here? Excuse me, it's over between us. She snatches, basically, the little thing out of his hand because he gives her some sorry apology. She says, what you need to do is you need to man up. You need to man up and learn how to properly communicate. Tell me what happened with your charges. He sends her the thing back and says, I apologize. I shouldn't have ran. I should have stayed there and protected you. It wasn't my intention for you to get robbed and almost killed. Karine was like, come again. I need to know what happened. He tells her that he was accused of burning down his own house for insurance fraud and that he's embarrassed by it and that he spent time in jail. Let me tell you something, Paul. If they were not able to, if they did not have the evidence in order to convict you, you would not have served time in jail. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. He says that usually when girls find out that he has a felony, that they're out. You know what? You got that right. Because a felony means that you can't halfway even get a job. Don't nobody want to be with you when you got some felony on your record. I know I wouldn't. And I wouldn't want anybody that I know to be with your tail either. You raggedy, brown pants, big shoe wearing. I'm going to save that for the night. I'm going to save that. But anyway, then he tells her that me and my old girlfriend both got joint restraining orders out against each other. She don't want you. She don't want you. She just don't want you burning up her house. She don't want you burning up her house. Karine has not made a decision. She's finished with him. Finito. Done. Ciao, baby. Move on. Peace. Deuces. Adios, amigos. Move the hell on. And that's the end of this review. Next week, we're going to be seeing some things I think that's going to shock us. I am about to come out here in just a few more minutes to do my 90-day fiance, the unclean version. Okay? This is the version for all of you people who don't like to hear all the words in the chatter and all of that kind of stuff. It's the, you know what I'm saying? It's the clean one. But I thank you all so much for being here. Again, if you haven't already done so, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I love you to pieces. And until next Sunday, bye-bye.